What's up everyone, my name is George and this is Master. Today we're going to check out WPdataTables, which is a WordPress plugin that lets you create tables and charts. We're actually going to see how we build one. So we're actually going to know if it's easy or hard to do it, because I know most people are going to be asking that question. Alright, so if you guys want to grab the deal that's going on right now, the link will be in the description, and I will also leave in the description a link for a chart and the table that you're going to see for comparison and you can move around with and check it out. So let's head on over to my WordPress site, and right now I am WPdataTables settings. The reason I'm here is because this is what I recommend to everyone that they get started with. So start here because you're going to set your language right here. So you got all these available languages that are available, date and format, so depending on the country this could change and you have that possibility, time format, parse code, base scan, all that good stuff that you could check it out and move around when you get started. Also, you can separate DB connection, so that means your database can be another one and you can grab it from a different place that's not in your hosting plan right here. So you got color and font settings, so you can change the font. You got these available fonts right here, and you can change them for header, table border, row colors, cell colors, and you can customize all that here for all the general settings. Now you can do this also in each individual one. You got custom JS and CSS if you want to do some more customizations, or general customizations not based on the actual table that you're creating. So this is like general. Alright, so let's get over to the sweet spot and let's create a brand new table. So I already have installed right here WPdataTables, and we have 5 available options, which is create a table linked to an existing data source. So that means in this case, I'm going to make an example of Google Sheets, and what it's going to do, it's going to grab all the information from Google Sheets and it's going to keep auto renewing anything that's modified in that Google Sheets. You can also create a table manually, so that means an empty table. You create the columns and you fill out everything here in WPdataTables. Next thing we have is create a table by importing data from a data source. So you can import from Excel, CSV, or Google Sheets. That means it's going to import it and it's good to go and you can use it. It doesn't mean it's going to keep auto updating as it would over here, so be aware. You can also generate queries from WordPress database. You can pull that information and MySQL database. So maybe you're creating something important based on the database, that would be a really good option. So like I said, we're going to do one from Google Sheets, and it's going to click right here. We're going to click next. And I got a Google Sheets data table that I have prepared for you guys. So in this case, we're going to select the source, Google Spreadsheet, and let's head over to the spreadsheet. And the first thing you would do, this is a Google Sheet that is not published, so that means I can't use it over there. So I recommend that you head on over here to File, Publish as a Web, and Publish. Once you do that, you hit OK, and you should get a link. Let's click X on that one. Publish that one. Get a shareable link right here. Now we got that. Copy it, and let's head back over here. Let's put that link right here, and it's ready to go. So let's apply it, and it's going to pull the columns from that Google Sheet. So you can see we have the same columns over here. And we're ready to go right here where we're actually to do the testing. So the first thing that you're going to be greeted with is here on the top, which is your code. That is the one you're going to embed on the site that we're actually going to do right now. So you see how we're actually going to do editing, and we're going to view it on live. So let's click right here to copy this code. And in this case, I have Divi for a theme, but you can use Elementor, you can use the main Gutenberg from WordPress, or just whatever, a theme that lets you put HTML code inside. So in this case, like I said, it's Divi, so I'm going to put a code, and I'm going to put my short code right here. I'm going to put yes, and it's going to load it in here. So let's wait for it to update. All right, there's a sheet. So let's actually exit this builder and save and exit. So I want to show you how it looks on live and once we're editing. All right, so this is how it looks on live. So let's head on over to editing. So right here, obviously the data source is this one right here that we already chose. And we're gonna head on over to display. So you can show table on this page. So we're showing table, the title right here. The title looks ugly. I'm gonna remove it because I'm gonna use my own title in Divi or Gutenberg or just whatever you're using, put your own title. Allow collapsing on mobile tablets, yes or no. Hide loaded, you can remove that or keep it. Default rows per section is 10 by default. I'm gonna say 25 because I think 10 is too short, so I'll set that by default. Rows per page, so you can show the drop down menu right here. Scrollable by horizontal, yes and no. So if you have a really long sheet, you can activate that. Info blocks, show information blocks below the table. Limit data table width. So in this case, I'm going to limit it because if they're using a smaller browser, if you're using a tablet or a phone, it's going to auto do the width for you. So I'm going to apply it. I'm going to show you what this looks like. Remember, we removed the title and we auto did the width. So you're going to see a much tighter space. There you go. So no title and we reduce the width. Now it's auto doing it. So let's head on over now to sorting and filtering. So right here, you got enable advanced column filter. You can allow sorting for the table. So that means it's this right here, right? You're allowing sorting. In this case, all right, by numbers. Now it's going to switch it up. Now it's again, and you can do that. You're allowing the sorting. If you don't want to allow that, you can remove it. Main search block, do you want to keep it or not? I think it's really useful, especially on really big tables. So I'll keep that. Filters in the form, do you want to keep that? Yes. Yes, I'm going to enable that. Clear filters button, I'll apply that. So let's save that. Now we got table tools. So you can enable the tools. Those are this ones right here. So you got print, Excel, CSV, and copy. I personally think I wouldn't use that, but maybe you're making a sheet or a page where your clients are going to view it. You're doing a project management and you want to keep that available, then it's there. But if not, you can remove it, or you can keep just what you want and remove what you don't like. It even has PDF available. So I'm going to remove it in this case. I'm going to apply and we're actually going to refresh it. So let's refresh it and these should be gone. There you go. They're gone. There we go. So now we have placeholders. Placeholders are more advanced options to use in CSS, HTML coding, where it's going to grab these placeholders and you can use them later on. All right. Now let's head on over to the good part. We got table preview and column setup. I'm going in steps so you actually know what you have to do. So let's just say you want to edit these tables. You can, if you added a brand new table, let's just take for example, you can add it right here or you can remove it. Or if you remove one and you can't find it, this is where you would edit back and show it. I'm going to show you that again. Add a formula to column. So if this is a formula column, just to say you're doing some adding, subtracting, some multiplying, you can do it right here. Cost, 10 seconds, all that good stuff. You can add a formula to, for example, it's grabbing the column of numbers. So I can do some formulas right there. All right, that's possible. Next thing we have is the options by individual row. So in this case, we got name, site, email, numbers, Chrome plugin. By the way, I have a Chrome plugin. Please check it out. I'll leave the link in the description. All right, so let's grab this site right here. So let's grab this link and we have more options for individual rows. So in this case, it's called site. If I want to remove it or change it, now I can change it to website. So it doesn't matter what it says on the Google Sheets. I can overwrite that and put my own right here. Column position, that means it's column number 1. So we got 0 to, I got 5 columns, I think. I can remove the column to number 5, so move it at the end, or I want to move it in the front. So that's possible right there. And in this case, I'll just move it to the end, right? I'll set number 6 because I want to show you. Cell content prefix and suffix. That means whatever you put here on prefix, that means it's going to add it to the beginning. Use case, an example. Let's just say my site over here. All right, so we got this Google sheet right here. Let's go back. All right, ready. Just to say right here, I didn't add the HTTPS to it. I'm only adding the site like that, right? Just an example. And in these numbers, they're actually money. So in this case, I would add a prefix HTTPS and it would add it to every single one in the row. That's what it would do. If it were a money row and I didn't add it in the Google Sheets, I can add this. So it's a prefix. Right? Same thing goes in the end. If I didn't add the cents on it, so I'll add .00. That could be something you could do. These are just examples. You can hide these on mobiles, hide on tablets. Maybe the Google Sheet is too long and you want to keep it a little bit tight. You can remove some columns if you don't want to show on certain devices. CSS classes for more advanced options. You got, for example, you can convert images, HTML images into an actual image or do some other good stuff. Visible on front end or not. I can remove it if I don't want it to show on the front end. If I remove it, it actually removes it here. So like I told you before, you can add it where I'll do it. I'll just show you. I'll remove it for now. Okay, column width, we can set a column width. As you can see, there's only, I'm in the website. It's pretty short. So I'll say I'll add 500 pixels as the width, right? Column color, I'll set it to something a little bit darker right there. And you can do toggle column grouping. Okay, so I'll apply. And remember, I removed it, so it's going to be gone. But I'm going to bring it back. Don't worry. All right, so it's updating, so I can preview it right now. Let's wait for it to load, and it's gone. And it's kind of hard to get around, and you say, hey, where is it? It's kind of lost. So you go over here to this yellow button right here, and we can edit it from here. And I was editing the website, right? So I'm going to edit again, and I'm going to bring it back so it's visible on the front end. And remember, we told it it's going to be number 6 in the column, so now it's in the end. You can see it over here. There you go. And the color also changed. It's a pretty ugly color, so I'm going to remove that color from here. Set it back to white, apply, and let's bring it back. All right. What other things can we do? Let's go back to options. So let's go right here to numbers. And in numbers, we're going to sell the prefix for, it's going to be money. Next thing we have is data. So in this data source, you can, the column type, you can set what it is. It auto does it for you sometimes, and if not, you can change it. Maybe it went wrong, or maybe you want to do it changed. So it gets set by string, integer, float, date time, URL link, email link, and image. So you can change those. You can skip 1,000 separators. You can calculate the total right here. So if it's a calculated, in this case, there's numbers in this column, so it auto detects as integer. So we have these options available. So I can calculate a total for this column if we want. Let's just activate it. Calculate average, calculate minimum value, calculate max value, so on and so forth. Let's save that right there. We added the prefix as money, and we got a total added in the bottom. So you can do that there. See how easy that was? Let's go back to the options, and we can go to sorting. So maybe you want to sort this. Maybe you have a huge list and you want to make this one the main one. In this case, I'm using numbers, but it's okay. So we want to use some sorting, and we're going to do it by ascending or descending. We'll use descending just to show you, because by default, it's from ascending. So I just moved it around. Maybe it's a name. In this case, it's just ABC, what I added. But if it were a lot of names, you can add them by ascending, right? So you have that option. Let's go back to the options right here. We're going to grab this Chrome plugin link that I have, and we're going to head on over to not filtering, conditional formatting. We can add a rule right here. Let me grab something more different. This one, number. We'll grab numbers. I'm doing this because I want to show you what's possible. Conditional formatting. What is that? It's basically if then do this. So if then that. That's what it's called basically, right? So it's add rule. And we have options like minus, more, equals, don't equals. I'm grabbing the numbers. So I'm going to grab if it equals, because I want to make it a little bit more different. In a use case I used, for example, I had an email list, and what I did is if it equals no reply, I wanted to change to a red column color. In this case, if it equals 33, in this case, I want to set the cell color. No, you got all these options, right? You can remove the from viewable to non-viewable with all these with CSS. But in this case, we'll use something simple to show you what is possible. So set row color, and we're going to change it to red. We can add more rules if we want, or we can delete it. So let's apply. And remember, we set it to 33. So anything that has 33 will be changed to a red, because that's what I did. But I mean, possibilities are super huge with this option. So you can go, like I said, removing the row, converting it to something else, using CSS for custom things. So many things. All right, what else do we have? We got the total, we got changes. Let's preview how it's changed over here. Let's refresh. Let's reload. Now you can see we changed the width because I said 500. Now that looks pretty bad. I'm gonna remove that. And I'm gonna change that to 100. Apply. Now it's too small. All right, 200. These are just examples. I'm going to round through it so you can see what's possible. All right, so that looks better. And we can refresh. Now you can do some custom CSS if you want to convert something into that. And last but not least, I want to change something to a button. Data, show link as a button. So right here, remember we have that Chrome link that I put right there. I'm gonna activate this. I'm gonna say the install, right? So that's the button text. I'm gonna apply it. Check how cool this is. Now it's install. And I can do that for a website over here, or for something you want to send it. And I forgot to mention, you can do that. Send it to a brand new link. So if they click on it, it's going to open a brand new link. It's not going to open it there. So I'll apply it right there. I can do for others also. Set a button, install, apply, and just let me refresh. Hold on, we're going to head over to charts, so don't leave. All right, let's refresh this right here. We got Chrome. See right there. Now it's changed to an install button. If they click on it, now on that one, I didn't put the open a new page, but you can see basically what it did. It take me to a site. Now this is my Chrome extension. Please download it and rate. That helps me out a lot. Okay, so let's head on over to create a chart. So here are my options. I can create a chart. Now to create a chart is actually gonna grab it from a table. So first create a table that I already done. It's gonna grab it from this Google Sheet that I've created, and you can create your chart. So let's add a title. So in this case, it's gonna call chart, and it's gonna grab it. I'm gonna use Google Charts for this, and we have these options available. So we can choose whatever looks nice to you. Let's say area chart, right? I'll grab that one, and I'll go next. And it's gonna ask me what data table am I gonna use. I'm gonna use this one I created. I'm gonna go next. And we got 3 options right here. I'm gonna send them over here. We can follow table filtering. Next, so it's gonna auto update if we keep updating over there on the Google Sheets. And there we go, there's a chart that I created. You can see right here, there's a chart, and it's based on these numbers. These are just example numbers. It could be sales, canceled, prospects, whatever your numbers are or whatever purpose you wanna give it, it's possible here. Now you have a responsive chart width. You can enable it or disable it. You can change the chart height, enable grouping or not, background color. If you know what, something looks better for you, you can change that. You can change all these. Maybe the colors don't go with your branding. You can change these charts right here, color charts. You have all these options: font size, font name, plot border. You got series right here, label, colors, series canceled, axis. You can change the axes right here. There you go. You got all the options. Title, you want to show it or not, just remove that. Tooltip, show tooltip or not. Legend, keep right, bottom, all those options are available. So let's actually embed it on our site. This is my short code. I'm gonna go to my site. I'm gonna enable Builder. Remember, I'm using Divi Builder. If you're using Gutenberg, just add an HTML section right there and you can add it. If you're using a widget, you can add that widget there. So let's add this section. It's a regular section. There you go, some code, put it there. Hit yes, should show it there. I can customize more here if I want. So for example, this is Divi options, right? I can customize a bit. Right here, you can do some animation. You can fade it in if I want. Slide, bounce, whatever. There's, my bad. There's a lot of things you can do with Divi also, right? That complements with WPDataTables. So let's exit this one. Let's save it. I just want to show you how it looks on a live site. This is actually a building site, but let's go live. So there's the table. There's my chart. There's the effect. You can see that right there. You got all these options available. Now imagine how cool this is and how much time you can save pulling information from a data source like I did, for example, Google Sheets. I can pull information. I'm using my Zapier to put information to my Google Sheets, and from my Google Sheets, I'm making it live on my site. There's so many use cases that you can use that I think it's really good. So it's up to you guys if you actually like this, but like I said, it's a super good plugin that's super flexible and it's really, really advanced. I didn't even touch the most advanced parts of this data tables. There's so much things you can do with formulas and some CSS things. I mean, it's super complex. But I'm gonna show you guys a really good chart that I created. Like I said, the link will be in the description for the deal that's going on right now and the chart and table that I created. So you can move around there and just feel along, whatever you want to do. All right, guys, my name is George. This is SaaS Master, and I thank you guys for watching. don't forget to check out my Chrome extension. Thank you. Bye bye.